Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday. It's the 20th day of October 2022. I hope you're all healthy and safe today. I hope that your family is also healthy and safe and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders who are out here every day trying to save lives, oftentimes hazarding their own. And those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and highways and parks clean. And those that make deliveries of important things for our convenience that we take for granted. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to rescue, help, deliver, recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia going on in all 50 states of the United States and every county in the United States. And also those that are victims of pornography and child pornography. Prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers out here peddling in human flesh. Finally, blessings upon the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and most importantly, children on the streets of the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So last night, there was a basketball game. And listen, brethren, yeah, the Knicks lost the game. But you know what? My brother Jay Ellis from Nick of Time TV, he contacted me yesterday and said, who do I think is going to win? And I said to him, I plead the fifth. Because I don't want to say that I thought the Knicks was going to lose, but it was going to be a tough road to hoe. And I said this in multiple videos leading up to the game. It was going to be a tough road to hoe. Some people want to talk about what Memphis was missing. Stop tripping. This is Ja Morant. He's a superstar. What do superstars have in common? They make everybody on their team look good. They make everybody on their team better than they actually are. And he's no exception to that rule. Top 10 player in the league. It was going to be in Memphis. It was going to be a tough road to hoe for the Knicks. So they lost the game in overtime. But I want to tell you, there's a lot of positives from this game that bode well for the season going forward. Let's just go over a few of them. First of all, I want to shout out my man Julius Randle, who I wanted traded. 35 minutes last night, 9 of 16, 24 points, 2 of 6 from the 3-point line, 9 of 16 from the field, 11 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals. Dude was on point. Did he make a bonehead play at the end of the game? Yes, he did. But you know what? One thing I'm looking for from Julius, he's moving without the basketball. He's rebounding strong. He's handing the basketball to real ball handlers. He's not trying to force things. He's shooting the ball in rhythm in the flow of the offense. If we can continue to get that from Julius Randle, and he's making his defensive rotations, we're going to be in good shape. Good shape. Somebody's going to ask me, well, should we still trade him? I don't know. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But for now, I ain't worried about that. Let's just keep flowing. We got to the trade deadline to deal with that, right? So let's keep flowing. Mitchell Robinson. Listen. What every player, and if you've ever played basketball, you will understand what I'm about to say. And this is especially true in the NBA. What every player wants from the referees is consistency. That's what we want. That's what all the players want. Just want you to be consistent. So the refs, were calling ticky-tack fouls. Now here you have Mitchell Robinson dealing with Steven Adams. Two very, very physical players, especially Steven Adams. Okay? And Mitch Rob was more than ready to deal with him last night. But there was a lot of ticky-tack fouls. I mean, stupid fouls that you're like, wait. And then the commentators, of course, I can't stand Jeff Van Gundy as a commentator. I liked him as a coach. Him and his brother need to go away, man. But come on, you blaming Mitchell Robinson? It's not Mitchell Robinson for what he's supposed to do, back off Steven Adams? Anyway, so they call ticky-tack fouls. Okay, you're going to call it tight like that. No problem. But then Brunson on a fast break tied at 108 at the end of the game gets hammered. I mean, absolutely hammered by Ja Morant. Plus it was a goaltend. No call. That's a problem. Okay. That's a problem that the NBA needs to deal with. It's not whether they either A or B. Either you're going to let them play physical or you're not. But you got to be consistent. Okay. You got to be consistent. That's all I'm asking. And that was what cost Mr. Robinson. Got him out of his game completely, took him out the game, could not get in the flow, and that cost us, okay? We'll talk about Isaiah Hartenstein in a minute, but I'm going to tell you something. That would have been a different game. Mitchell Robinson was able to play the fourth quarter in overtime. Okay, refs completely took him out of the game. All right, but that's that. Jalen Brunson. Solid. 36 minutes, 7 of 18 from the floor, 6 boards, 9 assists, 0 turnovers, 15 points, plus 3. Julius Randle, by the way, plus 7. He's everything we wanted. He's the point guard. He's the point guard. He's the guy we were looking for, okay? Under control. The offense flows. Listen, the Knicks had 28 assists last night. 28. Okay, this is a team that was having trouble getting 20 last year. They got 28 assists last night. Okay? Anybody talking about the offense don't know basketball. The Knicks offense was flowing nice last night. And part of the reason was the 2 guys I just mentioned. Julius Randle letting go of the basketball and Jalen Brunson running the offense. It was on. You remember, you playing Memphis, one of the top teams in the league. Pushed Golden State last year. If John Morant didn't get hurt, they might have been in the finals. And they might be this year. And so their defense is top notch. You can't get to that level without top notch defense. That coach, Taylor Jenkins, that boy coached some defense. So it was a tough defense we were playing last night, and they got 28 assists. Okay, I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. This is boding well going forward. Evan Fournier, he was -1. He scored 14 points. He was a typical Fournier game. Okay, and there's going to be questions after what happened with Cam Reddish last night. We'll talk about that in a second. Obi Toppin got 13 minutes. I kind of thought in the fourth quarter, or was it overtime, that he's going to put Obi in there when Julius fouled out, but instead he put Fournier in there. And I'm not going to complain about that. I understand it. He probably wanted some more shooting on the floor, some more quickness from the guards on the floor. I kind of thought Obi should have been in that position. I want to hear what Tom, I didn't see the post-game press conference to see what he might have said about that. I'm sure somebody will ask him about that. I'm sure he had the decision to make between Obi and Evan. In that scenario, he chose Evan. He's the coach, whatever. But Obi didn't get off last night really the way he could have. We really expect him to be. He was pretty quiet. He had 1 turnover, but he only played 13 minutes. Like I said, couldn't really get into the rhythm, couldn't really get off the way he would normally get off. They weren't really looking for him a lot either. He wasn't on the floor a lot with Brunson, which brings me to Emmanuel Quickly. Okay, 17 minutes. He was on a nut last night. 0 for 6, 0 for 3. Okay, so you want him to shoot. 0 for 6, 0 for 3. 0 assists. So I think I'm not understanding, and maybe, I don't know what's going on. I'm not in his head, but it appears to me that he's not sure of his role. It appears to me. And this is a thing Thibodeau has got to make clear to him. What is your role? Are you the point guard? Are you an off guard? What are you? Because when he's out there with D Rose, he seems confused. Okay? And he doesn't understand his role, number one. Number two, what we all have to take in mind is that Emmanuel Quickly's not sneaking up on anybody now. See, his rookie year with the flow of the game and all that, he snuck up on people. Last year, they kind of adjusted. This year, they're ready for him. Okay, they're ready for him. Okay, so when he starts dribbling around perimeter, the defense is prepared on the second unit. They're ready for him. So he's got to adjust his game. And this is what I mean when I say I haven't seen development from him yet. I haven't seen him make those adjustments for that the defense is going to make for him. Which is why, to me, 2 things. Number one, he is definitely a bench piece, a scorer off the bench. That's the role. You should just tell him that's your role. Your role is not to run the offense. Your role is to shoot off the bench. Number one. Number two, he may think he should start, and he might be looking for greener pastures after this season. He'll be eligible for an extension next year. They got to the following year to wait on it, but he's a restricted, free B restricted, but there's a question. I tend to think, he may decide to move elsewhere. I've been telling y'all that because somebody's going to say, yeah, you can start for us. And then he's going to take that. He's not going to start for the Knicks. Not at the point guard spot, not at the 2 guard spot. So that's something for the future. But for now, he's got to figure out what he's going to do. To me, his best role would be focusing not on playmaking, not on the point guard role, on scoring off the bench, just scoring and move without the basketball. You see, he got that Julius Randle problem. He wants to dribble around and try to create a shot for himself. What he needs to do is give up the rock, move without the ball, try to get an open shot somewhere and stick it, see, or make a move. That's what he should be doing. And I think, in my opinion, that's what's messing him up. He's kind of in a quagmire between trying to be a point guard and trying to be a shooting guard. Tell him he's a shooting guard. Tell him he's supposed to shoot coming off the bench and let it go from there. Because he's going to run with D Rose. D Rose is a point guard. Let D Rose run the point. If you're going to run with Deuce, let Deuce run the point. And you just be the off guard. I think that's what it is. I think he's a little confused. So he wasn't really around last night. Then, of course, there's RJ Barrett. 38 minutes, 3 of 18, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. 5 of 6 from the line, though, which is excellent. He had 8 boards. He had 3 assists. He only had 2 turnovers. He was just shooting the ball like he was Ray Charles last night. And, let me tell you something. Before y'all start jumping to conclusions, please remember, well, some of y'all ain't going to any, but some of y'all are. This is his 4th year. Every year this boy starts slow. Come on now. He starts slow every year. I think he's going to be better in the beginning of this year than he normally is, but come on, he's a slow starter. You're not going to see games like this from him on a consistent basis. You're going to see better games from him shooting-wise. What I like is the boy was guarding Ja Morant. That's the hardest assignment on the floor last night. One of the hardest assignments in the NBA. Let me tell you something. Nobody is going to be able to stop Ja Morant. He's that good. Forget it. This is the league. He's elite. But you got to get somebody to at least slow him down a little bit. RJ was trying. His defense was as good as you can get against a guy like Morant, okay? Every time Morant was on, like Jalen Brunson was on him or Fournier, done. Basket. But RJ at least tried to slow him down a little bit, okay? And that's what he was assigned last night. He played 38 minutes, and he shot the ball terribly. I don't expect that to continue. I'm not worried about RJ Barrett. He's going to be okay. Of course, if he could shoot a little bit better last night, we might have won the ball game. But like I said, this was a test. This was an early season test. It was a good test for the Knicks. So RJ didn't shoot the ball well. He rebounded the ball well. He played good defense. That's all you can expect. And, he was actually 0 in plus minus. He was even. So that's cool. He scored 11 points. All right, whatever. Okay. So in my opinion, the start of the game was twofold. It was Julius, which I already mentioned. It was Reddish. But before we go there, let's go to Hartenstein. Hartenstein played 40 minutes last night because of Mitch Rob's foul trouble, which is exactly why we went and got him to back up Mitch Rob for situations like this. He did an excellent job. I would not go crazy and say he's the starter. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But he did his role excellent. He's hustler. He dives on the floor. He gets these scraps. 40 minutes, 7 of 11 from the field. The little push shot in the lane is tremendous. 0 of 3 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 8 boards, 4 assists. Again, he had 3 turnovers. He was 5 personal fouls, but we know he's a foul-prone dude. He's also aggressive. He fouls a lot, but that's why he's the backup. Excellent job. You can't expect much better from that. Excellent job. Again, I don't expect Mitch Rob. It's been 2 seasons since he's had foul trouble like this. Really, I mean, some of y'all gonna hark back to his first 2 years and say he's still foul pro because you're not paying attention. But last year he had no problem. Year before that he had no problem really. He got hurt, but he had no foul out type problems. Okay, and so I don't expect this to continue. Mitch Rob's gonna be okay. He's intelligent enough of a basketball player to understand what he needs to do. But when we do get referees that can't decide whether they're gonna let them play or not, Hartenstein's a good backup. And then we still got Jericho Sims behind him. Like I said, Mitch Rob, Hartenstein, Jericho Sims, they're going to all play this year. Okay? And Mitch Rob is going to bring it to a new level. I'm not worried about him. Okay, last night, whatever. I'm not worried about him. Not worried about him at all. I'm not worried about RJ. This bodes well going forward. The 28 assists is really what I like. And the defense. They made some defensive slip-ups last night. But overall, it's an improved defense. This ain't Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier backcourt. Gateway to whatever basket you want. It ain't like that. Ja Morant is tough. I'm glad they started with him. Now, let's talk about my man Cam. Some of y'all haters. I don't understand. He looked like he lazy. He looked like he ain't trying. I told you the boy was smooth. Wouldn't I tell you? I told you he was smooth. He makes things look easy because he's that good. Last night, Cam Reddish, 28 minutes, 9 of 15 from the floor. 3 of 6 from the three-point line. 5 boards, 3 steals, 22 points. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you something crazy. If you keep giving him 28 minutes a night, he's going to keep producing like this. I'm trying to tell you. So what does this mean going forward? Let's talk about the fourth quarter and overtime. Most of the fourth quarter was Cam, Julius, RJ, Brunson, and Hartenstein. Now, you sure in Mitch Rob for Hartenstein because Mitch Rob was in foul trouble, and that's the starting five a lot of us wanted, ain't it? And the thing about Cam, did you see him slashing? You see him slashing? And don't let that J be wet. And his defense. He was playing tremendous defense last night. See? Along with the rest of the squad. See? Now look. He's going to cause a problem for Tom Thibodeau. It's a good problem now. Tom's got to decide what he's going to do. I mean, you going to start Cam? Evan? What you going to do with Grimes? You got to decide what he's going to do. Now, for now, he ain't got a problem because I think Grimes should rest this game against Detroit. Keep him. There ain't no need to rush him back. Nope. So we good. Keep Cam coming into that rotation with Mob Deep. And we just keep flowing. And keep him, when you need crunch time, keep Cam out there. And now he took 15 shots last night. If he continues to do that, he's going to look at his basket. Cam ain't the dude. See, he's not going to force it. But he's going to get his buckets. Okay? I'm excited about Cam, man. I told you I was pulling for him, man. And he ain't look good in the preseason. Forget the preseason. This is the real deal now. Okay? Forget the preseason. This is the real deal. Okay? He's here. Okay. So it's just a matter of time. You keep playing Cam Reddish like that, Obi ain't going to stay 13 minutes. You see, this is where Tom messed up a little bit, okay? He gave Randall 35 and Obi 13. That's 48. He should have reduced Randall a little bit. He could have kept him at crunch time, but during the course of the second and third quarter, could have reduced him a little bit and put more Obi out there. Let Obi get that 18, 20 minutes, at the 4 spot. He could have did that. And I think he's going to do that. I think he's going to do that eventually. Because he played Randall 35, Brunson 36, Fournier 33, Barrett 38. He went really too heavy on them dudes. And we talked about this. That's going to be a problem if he continues to do that. He really last night, in Tibbs' defense, he did go 10 deep. He did. Look, Obi was 13. To me, you're in the rotation if you're getting at least 10 minutes. Obi was 13 minutes. Reddish 28. Hartenstein 40. Rose 12. Quickly 17. So they all got minutes. Now, it was an overtime game. So that contributed to it. But he needs to really play those guys a little more. Now, last year, if you remember last year, the Achilles heel for the Knicks was the second and especially the third quarter, right? We would be playing well, and then the third quarter, they just collapse, man. And then you bring in Mob Deep at the end of the third quarter, they start coming back, and then all of a sudden they come in the fourth quarter, and then sometimes he brings the starters back, lose the game, right? Last night, the Knicks came from 19 down to tie this game and bring in overtime when Cam flushed that Jada from 3 on the corner. Third quarter, right? So look. First quarter, Memphis was up 25-23. Memphis really stretched that lead out in the second quarter. They scored 36. We scored 23. They outscored us by 13 in the second. But then third quarter, Knicks came back, outscored them 33-24. In the fourth quarter, outscored them 29-23. If we can continue to do that, the Knicks are going to win way more games than they lose. Okay? Let me tell you something. Memphis knows now. We ain't playing. We here. They know that now. Okay? So, it was a really good, they lost. Okay. But, it wasn't like we were expecting to go to Memphis and just kiss these guys. These guys are good, man. But I'm going to tell you something. I like our chances against Detroit Friday. And RJ Barrett. It's good that he had a game like this. You know why? He's going to be in there. He's probably in there right now shooting 500 threes today. He's going to be ready. Okay? He's going to be ready. He's probably in there right now shooting threes. He was 5 of 6 from the line. You understand when 5 of 6 from the line? say like 85%. If RJ continues to do 85%, he ain't going to continue to shoot 3 of 18. I ain't worried about him. Mitch Rob ain't going to be in foul trouble every game. I ain't worried about him either. So you put it all together, and the Knicks are going to be good. This game, especially to me, the 28 assists that they racked up, the 28 assists tell me a lot, man. Tell me a lot. Now, offensive rebounds, they got 18, but then again, you see Mitch Rob. See, Mitch Rob is the premier offensive rebounder, him and Steve Adler in the NBA. So being limited to 13 minutes hurt us there. And we still was there at the end. See how deep they are? They were still there in Memphis. Ja Morant last night, what did he end up with? Ja Morant ended up with 34. Ja Morant going off, and we were still there. And that's what I kept noticing. Morant kept coming, and they had that, that supporting cast. Aldama was shooting the lights out. He ended up with 18. Bane 16. But we were still there. Every time they was trying to throw haymakers at us, we were still there. That's good. See? So don't worry about this loss. To me, it's a build on type of situation. The Knicks are gonna be there. We're gonna be all right. All right, we're gonna be all right. So take this, in stride, Knicks Nation. Don't trip. Don't draw no big conclusion about negativity. We're gonna be all right. And I want to see Friday. And the Knicks are generally not good on Friday night. Now, I'm not going to see the game Friday night. I'm going to see it Saturday night. But I'm expecting a win against Detroit on Friday in Madison Square Garden. Okay? I just don't want nobody to get hurt. So we're going to see what happens. But the Knicks are going to be all right. We really are. They're going to be all right this year. Don't worry. Cam Reddish is here. He's going to make some noise. We're in good shape, y'all. Y'all have a nice Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow preview the game. Shalom.